All right, we are live, and look at me, I'm on the wrong screen as always. HeartlandDefenders.com, as you can see on your screen. Heartland Defenders here on YouTube, and nowhere else. F the F book, I guess is the way to put that one. Ha ha ha. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, hit the dinger, the bell that's in the top corner. Either you're watching this live, share with your friends, with your family. Even if you don't get along with them, I'm sure it'll start a conversation. All right, here is Mike and Jacob. Hey, guys.
Hey, we're here.
We are.
We're live.
Yeah,
We're
we're
alive.
actually live.
We are live, and we're not live for 10 seconds to say we're not live.
No doubt. No doubt.
Oh, yes,
It's
that's book.
amazing what an election cycle would do to you. I
Oh,
mean, we're
it's
still over here
exhausting.
counting the votes and shit.
It's exhausting. I've given so.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and say I've given up trying to keep up because everything that's being thrown out there under the sun, even the out of topic fights I'm seeing in groups that are just for cities, just for the local city I'm in. There's people fighting about who's liberal and who's conservative and who's, a Trump humper and who's whatever we're calling liberals now other than snowflakes. The arguments are getting crazy because it's not even, hey, let's talk about this. It's just right to name calling, or right to, F you, you're, communist, blah, blah, blah.
Are we done? Are we done talking? Can we just start shooting people?
No.
Jeremy, you said you're done keeping up. You said you're done keeping up.
I can't.
You said you're done keeping up, right?
Well, it's rough. I mean, because
Okay, now
everything.
tell me, at what point?
I'm etching Liberty Tree in my backyard. I'm gonna start holding meetings. I'm done.
Cool. I'll be there. But answer me this question: at what point will you believe any of it? Then
Well, it's not that I don't believe. It's the amount of BS throwing in from both sides, and I'm going to say both sides, because I'm seeing a bunch of crap from the right. I'm seeing a bunch of crap from the left. They're all throwing crazy things out there that, as of a week and a half ago, I'm like, I can't keep up. This is crazy. I'm not, because I like to go research everything. So if I'm like, oh, that sounds great, I go to try to research something, and it's some off the wall, like somebody threw a pickle against
How do I get
a
back
glass
to the
window.
damn chat?
But again, let me ask this question: What? Let's say, okay, December 14th was the cutoff date, right? That's when the electors have to go to D.C. and vote, right?
Sure, right?
Right.
December 14th. Okay, so after December 14th, are you just going to be like, yep, whatever?
No, so my problem is when I can start getting information again that I can actually follow up on, and it's not just random pickles thrown against the glass window to see if they stick, that's when I'll go back to, keeping up again. Because as of now, I'm following things and I'm going, oh, that sounds great. And I go and I look, and there's nothing that substantiates half of these people's claims on both sides. It's just craziness.
And I just don't. I think it's just the same old shit. It's again. I've said that. I don't know. We haven't been on here so long, but it's conversations I've been having with a lot of people lately. We don't have a government anymore. We have politics, and at some point, if we don't hit the reset button, and I don't know what that means, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means Boston Tea Party, restart, 17. I don't know what reset but I get, and I'm very, your vote counts, do it, I'm very in, that's me. But man, when there's so much crap on both sides with this election that you almost feel like voting now. This is probably the first year I feel a little bit like voting was just bullshit. The whole thing was just bullshit.
Well, allegedly, there's four? I think 4 states where there's litigation right now that voting was just bullshit?
Well, I'm to the point now. Fuck it, throw it all away. Let's all go vote in person with our IDs, and that's the only way your vote will count.
I'm
getting to the point. It's getting so sickening to me of sitting here listening to this is legit, this isn't legit, this is going to happen, this isn't going to happen, or F it. If people cheated and machines were counting wrong and stuff was sent out of the country and that was illegally done and blah blah blah, then screw it. Stop it. Let's all go vote in person, on paper, in person with our IDs.
I want to address Drailed, and I'm not sure who Drailed is, but yeah, you're right. Our founding fathers would, but here's the problem with right now. I don't know who the traitors are. He writes, I don't know if you can see it.
I see it. Oh yeah, I see it.
Our forefathers will be dragging them up. Well, who's the traitors?
Jeremy?
Right now, I don't trust a politician out there.
Jeremy, hit the helicopters real quick.
Wait,
I
got stuff close.
There they are.
Yeah, hit the helicopters. I'm gonna wait to see the helicopters.
Oh, it'll take like 10, 20 seconds, so you're good. They're already up.
Yeah. So there are rumors abound that this has all been planned. We all know that General Flynn was pardoned from his quarantine. We'll call it that. And now Flynn is running around with a task force for election fraud. If you haven't had the opportunity to watch the video, The Plot Against the President, it's free with Amazon Prime. Watch it. It doesn't have anything to do with the election or any of that. It all has to do with the 3.5 years of Russia, Ukraine impeachment. That's it. But there's a lot of speculation, and the helicopters
Sorry, I'm doing
are
some
helping
adjustment
here. You're good. Helicopters are helping here. That if you're not digging for yourself, which Jeremy, I'm going to throw you under a bus right now. It sounds like you've given up because there's so much shit. You've just stopped looking. Period.
It's encompassing too much of my livelihood time. So
agreed. But if you're not looking for the little ticks and the little signs, this is my black helicopter thought. This is my tinfoil hat. If Jeremy wants to change the video feed, I honestly think the traitors are getting pulled out right now. I honestly believe that when this is all said and done, they will be sitting in a nice little fucking 8x8, 12x12 room in Gitmo.
Well, but are the traitors being pulled out, or are the traitors more powerful than the people that they're pulling out?
So you're going even deeper down the fucking rabbit hole.
Right.
Now you're trying to say that
but that's where I'm at with all of it.
Are you saying the suspected traitors are just the top water of this fucking lake, and the shadow government is the ones pulling them into incarceration? We're just going, yay, it's done. And the next time around, we've got a new case of bullshit.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's all at this point. If George Soros,
this is going to get us booted off of YouTube, but if George Soros gets arrested and thrown in Gitmo, do you feel that is a traitor?
Who?
George Soros.
Hasn't there's been rumors that he's been arrested in Canada?
Has anybody seen blackout?
Well,
you have to have a VPN to actually look at real news anymore.
It's not only Soros. It's the who's the other one? Wow, I'm brain dead. Starts with an M. His last name.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything but Soros.
I I know that there's a congresswoman. I believe it's a congresswoman that.
No. This is another rich guy.
No. I'm flipping the subject. I know I believe there's a congresswoman that is pushing to basically unindict Snowden and what's his name, WikiLeaks guy.
Yeah, hold
I
on.
was gonna say Epstein, not Epstein.
No, he didn't kill himself.
Julian Assange.
Yeah, Julian Assange. Basically release them and let them come back. There's so many things that are, dive into Reddit, hit a couple of Reddit subreddits, and oh my God, I found one the other day. It was a list, fucking mile long, of just names. I mean, it wasn't politicians. It was just politicians, celebrities, just a list of in prison, tried, convicted of treason, and, so.
Well, and that,
look at this list. Read this list. You look, and
is it the politicians? Isn't the politicians even in charge anymore?
Well, and that's again where they're just collecting money and doing whatever they're being told to do.
I mean, we've lost our government.
Can you really say that when you know personally a congresswoman now?
Well, when they're passing laws and they're passing stuff
relentlessly, when you've got Marjorie Greene.
Oh, I'm not saying that there aren't good people trying, but I would say the vast majority of politicians are politicians. They're not there for us, for we the people. And if you're not there for we the people, then you're not a government official. You are now just a politician.
When you are passing laws that benefit corporations and not the people, there's something wrong there. What is it? The one company had put a patent on a fucking plant. And they okayed it. It all went all the way through, and it even started to show up in court, and they still okayed it as, yeah, that's fine. They can do that. It's a plant. So you can't replant the seeds from the plant.
It's just, well, let's put it this way. I mean, we know anymore. I mean, lobbyists are writing bills. The people that we send to represent us, to bring bills to the Senate and Congress and in our own houses in our own states, they're no longer listening to us. And when I say us, I mean all of us. I don't care if you voted for the dude with a boot on his head for president. They're not listening to any of us.
No.
They've stopped listening to us. And if they've stopped listening to us, well, where are we then?
So let me ask this question. We've got, what was his name? Derailed?
Yeah.
Derailed. So Derailed made the statement, stacking bodies. You're saying, you're essentially saying you right now feel we are at the brink. We are at that point where it is either reset or something.
I think we're
in your mind. Hold on. What in your mind should we the people now do at this point in time? We're sitting right now. There's speculation, stuff is happening. You're not seeing that. You're not focusing on that. You are frustrated with the entirety of the system. So at this point, as a figurehead, as a leader of our group, what do you think we the people should be doing right now?
I think at this point, and it can't be like just us. It has to be a larger group. It has to be a group of people who are disenfranchised about the government, and they're on all sides. Let's be there's Democrats and liberals that do these same kind of shows and bitch about everything and the funny thing is they bitch about half of what we bitch about. But
we just bitch a different way.
I think we are at a point where, and we were talking about this on when I got on the other night on our private chat, and Mike and a couple other guys were there. I think we are at the moment where we have to do something. There has to be some sort of civil disobedience, and on a large scale, where we as we the people have to do something. And I'm not talking about, burning down buildings and, I'm talking about we have to do something substantial that, Rosa Parks-ish. We have to go out there and do something that has our moment that says, we're done. We're not moving. We're not getting up from the seat anymore unless you guys fix this shit. And I think we have to do that statement before we stack bodies.
And we need
because if we do something on a large scale and they still just laugh at us, because let's be honest, when 200 of us get together at the State House, they're at home going, "Oh yeah, look, they had 200. That's fucking hilarious."
Yeah. Well, that's where you can't do anything big enough. If you just keep it in a party, or you just keep it in a thought of you can only be a part of this if you think exactly like me. You have to step outside of your comfort box, start having them open conversations with other people outside of your little box, and start.
I'm gonna piss on your parade. I'm gonna piss on your parade real quick because before this whole thing started, somebody posted a December 12th Million MAGA March.
Right.
Yeah, it has
They'll
to be.
get nowhere near me. They'll get nowhere near me.
With your statement, if 1 million people showed up there, even though the name is MAGA, does that not make some sort of statement?
No, because all you're doing is the same thing every MAGA march and MAGA thing has ever done, which is
it's one side.
It's one-sided.
Then you haven't come together. You're not saying, and it's great. If 1 million people show up at that, that's great. I don't think it changes anything.
No.
Because I think if it's always one, if we don't understand that there are people on both sides that have good ideas, and that it's nothing's going to change unless we come together. Here's a perfect example of that. And I was talking about this today. Mainstream media right now, and I've watched enough here and there just to make sure to cover my theory. How many of you know that there are still riots going on? Yeah, but how much mainstream media coverage is there?
Oh no, I'm not getting that from my mainstream. I'm getting it from my normal news sources.
Nobody. No. So all of a sudden, now that Biden's elected, and easy on the comments, I know it's not official yet, but conceivably, Biden's been elected. Well, no, look it's fucking sunshine and roses on the fucking mainstream media. They have stopped showing the riots in Portland. They've stopped showing them in Seattle. They stopped showing them in D.C., and yet they're still happening. And you know why they're showing them? Because it fits the agenda. It keeps us. Now, everybody on the left is like, oh, look, it's sunshine and roses. Now that Biden's been elected, the riots stopped. No, they didn't. They stopped fucking covering them.
Right.
That's all they did.
Now, so if 1 million people show up to that, that's only like 0.27% of the population in the U.S.
Yeah. Well, think about it. If 70-something million voted for him, what's 1 million?
Right.
It's nothing. It really is. And it's one side. Whenever you have only one side of the issue show up, then nobody's going to take it serious. It'll be the same old. It's just a bunch of Nazi white supremacists who are mad because because the black person got elected as vice president.
And before anybody gets on him about that comment, that's what's going to be spun as. That's not what he believes.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be spun.
And
the minute a million people show up under the banner of MAGA, and 500 Antifa members show up, or BLM, or whoever the fuck the case may be, that's what's going to be portrayed, and you're going to see Proud Boys.
Oh, of course.
Right.
That's it.
Now,
if only 12 Proud Boys showed up, that's what would be on the mainstream.
Yeah,
media.
they wouldn't even. You wouldn't see the rest of the million people.
Oh, no,
You'd see the 12 Proud Boys.
Million people. You would see those 12 Proud Boys on every channel.
Now,
I
guarantee. Hang on.
I'm gonna play the asshole tonight. Let me ask you this.
Before we back away from the numbers of it, though, I bet you it would make more of a statement if 500,000 people of all, conservative, liberal, everybody got together and agreed that there's an issue, than it would a million people showing up. A million of one side showing up.
I bet if 10,000 came together, it would be more of a statement.
So I'm gonna ask this question: Who's gonna be George Washington? Who's gonna be Abe Lincoln? Who's gonna be Paul Revere? Who's gonna do that? Because
not tall enough for the Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm not tall enough for any of them.
But here's the problem. We, the three of us, sitting in this video chat right now, to the 12 people watch. Well, it's not 12 because 3 of us are watching it. The 9 people or 10 people watching us. The millions and millions around the world watching us right now. Who's gonna be the people that stand up and bring us all together? Because we've tried it. We've set up a public Discord chat, and the night before the Virginia Second Amendment rally was banned outright by Discord because we had a public chat open to anybody to discuss anything. We've had a public page on a major social media network that never talked about politics, one side or the other, nothing. And the month prior to the election was completely banned and erased from history.
And they don't even acknowledge it existed.
No, you can't.
Three of us in this show right now, the night of the election, over the midnight hour, were banned for 30 days from Facebook. None of us received a reason why we were banned at all. No violation strike at all.
Nope. You go in my violation history. The last violation I had was posting something inappropriate back in September of last year.
You know what's funny? My violation history is nothing. There's nothing on there. I've never had a violation.
You know what? My last one was for posting the pledge.
Oh, nice.
That was my last violation.
Again, never, ever, ever, ever got one and was banned for 30 days.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me say again, who's going to be the George Washington? Who's going to be that Abe Lincoln? Who's going to be that Paul Revere?
Well, I've already been. I was on that chat that night, and I have, and I'm going to bring it up in some of our meetings coming up. I don't know if I'm George Washington, but I have an idea.
Right.
But do you think? But my question is not. Let's pick them out of the group or a part of the group or the specifics of the group. What my question is in our climate, in the social climate we live in right now, can we actively bring together a truly diverse group of we the people enough to show the other guys or those people that we don't like what they're doing? Because you said,
I think you have to start.
Those seeds have been sown with some of the meetings we've been at, and some of the events we've been at.
And I've done. I'm doing my best to get kicked off of Facebook, probably, but
I'm giving up. I don't even write on the damn thing.
No, I'm strictly just pissing people off at this point. But I put my, I think it's time to resurrect the Sons of Liberty flag. That's where I'm at. I'm ready to, because when the Sons of Liberty started and the Liberty Tree, when all that stuff started, they were telling the British, look, we've had enough. Either change your shit or this shit's gonna get serious.
You still got to go back to the concept that only 3% of the freaking populace wanted to do any of it.
You know what? And if, for me, at this point, I guess at this point, it's a personal thing. At this point, with one grandchild here and one grandchild on the way, at this point, I don't even think it's necessarily even a group thing, as far as we should do this as a group. I'm planning something, and anybody who would like to join in is invited. I'm just at the point now that I have to make a statement, and if the statement falls on deaf ears, there's nothing I can do. I can only do what I can do, and if people want to follow, if people want to take it to the next step, but I feel I'm at a point now that I have to make some kind of a statement for my own knowing that I tried. I tried to change things, and if things didn't change, I can only do what I can do. That's something everybody's going to have to decide on their own, whether, hey, you know what? It is what it is. The beast is too big. We can't slay it. We'll just roll with it as we roll with it, or we're going to make a statement. And you know what? If they don't accept that statement, then, the next step. I'm not talking about Unabomber shit here, but, this isn't my manifesto. But I think it's time to make a statement. And
well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you follow the, what is it? Is it change.org?
Is that the one where you can put up a petition?
Whitehouse.gov, I think it is.
One of them, yeah.
One of the two.
Change does the thing. Yeah, Change is another one you can do.
One of the places where you put up a petition, and if X number of people sign it, it goes to the president or it goes to this person or that person. How many of those have you actually looked at? There's hundreds and thousands of those things that are over a million votes.
Sadly, I've looked at quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have, but
basic shit from it. So what kind of statements are we talking about here, Mike? I mean, I understand the theology, and maybe that's the wrong word, but I understand the idea of what they did in 1774, right. 1775. I understand that. I've got history books all over the place. I understand that. I got a book this fucking big called The Patriot's Guide to the U.S. History. It's in detail. So what statement are you making? Are we thinking? Do you think this federal government today would get pissed off if we dumped some tea out of a boat in the fucking harbor? I don't think so.
Just the EPA.
Probably
the only ones that get pissed.
They get pissed.
And PETA.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and fishing game. We'd probably all lose our fishing licenses for life.
But that's where I'm at. I've heard
this
statement more in the last few weeks than I've heard in the last few years that we've been dealing with the not my president crap and everything else. Today, right now, we need a single person to take charge.
I think Mike Lucchini is kind of right in once the movement, you have to start a movement, and it died. Let's be honest. We were probably 5 years ago. 5 years ago, there were probably there had to be a gazillion patriot groups armed and ready to start tearing shit up.
Yeah.
But then, out of nowhere, Trump gets elected. I'm starting to, and I'm starting to be that tinfoil guy, because, if you go back, think back when you both, let's take both our last two presidents, Obama and Trump, when they both entered the race, at obviously different times. When they entered the race, everybody was like, yeah, right. Sure. Yeah, that's going to be the guy. Look at them. How many montages have you seen with, oh yeah, I'll jump off the bridge if, Trump's even nominated as the candidate. I'll move out of the country. oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, you know who won't ever be president? Donald Trump.
Yep.
You can hit YouTube and find 300 montages of what a joke it was. But at that time, what else was happening? Groups more radical than ours, dude, they were ready. I mean, if you go back to Bundy, at Bundy, armed militia put rifles on government officials.
Yep.
Flat out, they put rifles on. Guys were ready. Then, like, fuck it, let's do this. And then all of a sudden, the great savior, DT came. And what happened to militia groups?
They start falling off.
Yeah. How many, and granted, not active, but we probably had 80 active people.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then, Trump's elected. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try and make meetings. I'm going to try and get there. But Trump's president, so things are kind of cool. I really don't. It's nice knowing you guys, and, if maybe, shit goes bad again, I'll rehook up.
And then what happened when Rona hit? I know what happened, but I want you to go ahead and we started to see when Corona hit. What started happening? We started to see more people applying.
Oh yeah, well, but here's the thing: Corona did. So for me, Corona, the old COVID, it started dividing the divide.
Mm-hmm.
There was already a division. There were it started to divide. It even divided constitutional people and conservative people and far right people and liberals from Democrats and moderates from liberals, and it's dividing we're no longer in right and left. We're in left, right, middle, and then there's the right, and then there's the right middle, and then there's the right.
Well,
they're dividing the divide, so that what you just said, Jacob, that who cares if we do something? Well, they've divided us at such a point now that, you know what? They're all sitting in there at home going, yeah, that's cool. They're going to do this thing. They get together. Yeah, they won't get 10 people. Fuck them.
They've got us into the divide so bad that people are de-owning family members over a mask.
Well, have you listened to Tom McDonald's song "No Lives Matter"?
Yes, I have heard it.
Jeremy, write it down. Listen to it.
Oh boy.
Not right this second, but listen to it. It explains what you're saying. I mean, like you said, we're dividing. It's heightening the idea of the Overton window, not being left and right, but it being a scale.
Are you talking about body count?
Are
you talking about body counts? No lives matter.
No. Tom McDonald. No lives matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are we at? So we're at. How many people are we in the U.S. right now? I just want to put some perspective on what is the U.S. population? 300 something million.
331 mil.
All right, let's say 331 million.
I would make that a rough 2%. If we go
So
to
yeah,
war,
so you got to get, yeah. So let's see this mega march. So you're still talking, you're at 3%. You're still talking close to 700,000 people. When are the last time 700,000 of us got together to do anything for us and not just some stupid cause that we were told to be there?
Right.
when was the last time 700,000 people got out of their houses at the same time because they wanted to?
Well, because they wanted
Wouldn't
to affect real change.
Wasn't that the Million Man March? Wouldn't that be the last time 700,000 people got out?
Did actually 1 million show up though?
I can't remember. Let me look it up. What they claim.
Look it up. But I mean, you're still at. I mean, and that becomes the question at this point: is does 3% of the population? 3% of the population doesn't even change the vote.
Wait, Donna, is that a serious question?
Where? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I'm gonna pause and wait for a response.
Body count, yeah, I'm with you, John. I'll kind of take body count over. I've still got the original cassette tape. I'm quite proud to say.
Okay, there's two
With
different numbers for the Million Man March. The Million Man March organizers claim 1.5 to 2 million showed up, and then the park police officially estimated 400,000.
Yeah, so even at the 1.5 million man march, there was 400,000 people. So, but I state, again, I don't even care. I don't care. It has to start small. You know what? When the Sons of Liberty started meeting, there wasn't 3%. There wasn't 3% of them there. It was probably 0.0.
I'm not going to disagree. But they shut down. But
I think and again, I'm talking, and maybe I'm talking for me. I'm at that point that I don't care. It's not that I don't care, but for me, there's going to be a point, and this is part of the discussion we had. Donna was there, Palmer, a few others.
Sorry, I was in class.
Maybe it was spontaneous by Rosa Parks, and maybe it will be with me. But at some point, as law-abiding people, because they keep pushing us as law-abiding people that we're just going to, because we're the law-abiding type, and don't get me wrong, a vast majority of Americans are law-abiding. Even some of these yahoos that carry the defund the police and stuff, they don't give a shit about it. They don't even know what they're talking. They're followers.
We're handed a sign and told to walk.
Yeah. Go. Here's your $10. Carry the sign.
We had this when the Democratic National Convention did the debates in Westerville, Ohio. I talked about that 16-year-old girl from school standing there campaigning for Warren, had "fuck Trump" and everything written all over her body, had not a fucking clue what she was doing there. She had just been told what to say and not to talk to anybody else.
And that's the thing. And that's where I'm at. That, and I don't know if it's going to be, I have something that I want to plan, and maybe it's not a date. Maybe maybe I just call a couple of people, or I get on here and go, hey, guess what, guys? You know that thing we talked about? I'm going today. And maybe that's what, but at some point I feel I'm at that point, and I don't know a lot about the events leading up to Rosa Parks and what she did. And it's just an example of what I'm getting. But at some point as an American and as a law-abiding citizen, at some point, because at that time that was the law, that was the rules. If you were black, you didn't sit there. But at some point, she said, "You know what? I'm an American. I get up every day and bleed, red, white, and blue for this country. I'm gonna do. You know what? This isn't right. I'm done. And I'm really at that point that I have to do something because I'm done. I'm done. And you know what? If it's me and two guys standing at the State House, let's say, I don't care. At some point, I have to do something, and I'm just gonna do it.
Do you honestly believe? I'm gonna ask this question. Knowing what we know about events and rallies and things like that, do you honestly believe? Let's say you and two guys go and standing out in front of the State House. You're in the regular garb that we wear. We all know that we go Gray Man.
It might not be Gray Man this time, but go on.
Well, say you're not.
I'm
Say
just
you're
saying.
a little less Gray Man.
Okay, cool.
You're standing there. Guy walks up with a Trump flag.
No, go
Cool
away.
to stand there. Guy walks up with a fuck Biden flag. That's the new one going around. Fuck Biden, right? Guy walks up with a fuck Biden flag. Girl walks up with defund Planned Parenthood sign, right? The leftists start showing up with their defund the police and everything else, right? You start amassing a mass group of everybody else. Is it going to change? Do you feel that you're just doing it because you feel you need to do it, or do you think it's going to change something?
I think it's a start. I think if you are freezing cold and all you can do is create a few sparks at first, then you got to do it. And you know what? You hope that the next guy brings maybe some tinder, and maybe the next guy brings some little twigs. Maybe the next guy brings you some small logs. Maybe the next guy brings bigger logs. Maybe the next guy brings gasoline and pallets.
I'm gonna throw this up to you. Second Amendment rally in Virginia. What'd it do?
Well, I don't think it was. It was a statement, but it wasn't a state. We were there. It was awesome. People everywhere. It was cool. What did you hear from anybody that was, there was no statement other than being there.
I agree.
My thing that I have planned in my head, I've already started with a statement, because my vision for what this is going to be is no speakers, no bullshit flags, no, if you're bringing a flag, make it an American flag. Otherwise, keep it at home. Now, a Sons of Liberty flag, a Bessie, those all count. But if you want to bring a flag, bring an American flag, because that's what it's about. If we can't be Americans, then we're fucked anyway.
If you're bringing a piece of anything that causes divide, you're a part of the divide, and you're
part of the problem. And you being there doesn't. And my idea, I've calculated it. My idea is we can make enough of a statement with as little as 600 people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think to the 10 or 11 people watching us right now, make sure you share this video out, because I got a feeling that the Mike Cosper I know plans on doing this before January. So
I'm working on it.
Yeah. So you might want to let your friends know.
Man, I'm getting my Carhartts out now.
You might want to make sure you're good with the outside weather.
You gotta see what the weather forecast is. I don't know if the whole. I don't know about the whole.
I've got the heater pads and stuff.
Everybody here knows I'm an outside worker. Carhartt bibs.
I just survived 40 hours. 40 hours at home with no water, no heat, no electricity. So I can do a couple days out in the elements.
Sounds like you had a lot of time to think too. So
yes, I did. But no, and you know what? I think it's just time. I mean, maybe the first time, nothing. maybe the second time. It has to be. I think it also has to be an ongoing. Like, if you say you're going to be there, conceivably, if you say you're going to be there every Friday, then you got to be there every Friday. There has to be a start, just like our forefathers who started with the Tree of Liberty and the Sons of Liberty and meeting at the Green Dress. It has to start somewhere. It has to start, because I can't, I was in the ER again, a few weeks ago. So I don't know. I'm going to the doctor Thursday again. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with me and my body and my mind, but I know I'm at a point now in my life that I need to make a statement before it's too late. Again, I got one grandchild now at home. I got another one coming in April. I can't in good conscience just let things go the way they keep going. I have to make a statement. And if people want to join me, that's awesome. If they don't, then the things stay the same. It is what it is. But I've got to make a statement.
This is gonna wear me out trying to remember the name of this song. Jeremy, help me out. He said something about there no better time than now, and my brain.
Oh, that's
Rage
better
Against the
place
Machine.
here, no better time than now.
Yep. Rage
What the
Against
hell is the name of that song?
Guerrilla Radio.
Okay, thank you. Oh my God. I heard it, and I'm like, oh my God, I know that.
As soon as he said it, the song went right through my head. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
It was going through mine too. But that's what, and that's where I'm at. It's almost
I'll
like
put it on the playlist. Damn it, we'll have Riot and we'll have radio.
But yeah, but I mean, that's it has to it does. It has to start somewhere. That song is true.
What better place
It
than
does.
here?
And I think I think now is the time. Only because we've never been so divided in this country. Obviously, I mean, a year ago we thought we've never been more divided. We're even more divided than we were a year ago.
Right.
True story.
And all it took was some masks.
Right, yeah,
I'm not even saying the mask didn't do it. The media did it.
Well, but the masks
is
help
just
because it
the
turned
mask is
families
just,
against themselves.
It's a fucking virtue signal of the people that mindlessly follow the fucking direction. Period.
Yeah,
But
well,
it doesn't matter what side of the
but
mask thing
it's
you're on. It
perfect-
still
it's
split
perfect
families.
But it's perfect for what's going on right now. It's the perfect symbolism for what is going on right now in America. It's cover your mouth, shut up, do what you're told.
I mean,
That's-
sadly, I'm gonna give who's their name, the band that just released the video with the masks and stuff.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'll give them credit for that video.
I enjoy some Five Finger. They do some good songs, but
Please
that
finish
scene
the name
has
of the
nothing
band.
to do with masks. Nothing to do with masks.
Well, it
No,
does
but
to an
it
extent.
It is symbolism. I mean that it's where we are in America, and throw out all the conspiracies and because guess what? For all those people who were like, "Oh, it's not any worse than the flu." Well, guess what? It's become worse than the flu in a year. And even if and you can stop right now. Okay, 64,000 people in America on average die from the flu each year. Okay, they were over 250,000. And if you want to say that, oh, that's because half of them, fine, take out half. That's still 150,000 people, 125,000 people. So it's still double flu. Okay, so get over yourselves. It is worse than the flu. Is it going to wipe out the entire country? No. A vast majority of people get over it. However, it is serious. However, I'm one of those people. I've been tested twice now. I'm one of those people who, if they don't ask me to put one on, I don't put one on. If they ask me, I put it on. But so there's plenty of us that should be dead that are probably watching this show right now.
Yeah,
because,
one of them. Don't tell the
but,
girlfriend.
But regardless, it's real, it's serious. I get it. But it's what they're doing. I think the more it gets in my brain, it's the symbolism of exactly what's going on in America. Put your muzzle on, shut up. Just be sheep. Because you know what? Us in the government know what's best for you, and that's from either side. Because guess what? If you're a Republican, like hardcore, I wish Charlie was on here. I wish, he's the perfect example of the other side. He's the lapdog for them. The people that put their masks on and are good sheep. He's just another sheep. I mean, honestly, he's another sheep.
Didn't say it, so it's not true. Right? Q didn't say it, so it's not true. Fox News didn't say it. Newsmax didn't say it. OAN didn't say it.
But it helps as long as we keep being divided and keep with all this bullshit. Now, I mean, think about it. We're fighting over masks now, and now the cool thing is to burn masks. Because that's just like burning your bras for women. I'm like, go fuck it. You know what? Fuck you. I'm tired of both sides at this point. I'm officially right now. I'm not on any side.
You think?
F them all. F the Republicans. F the Democrats. F them all.
Do you think the burning of the masks, the pandemic, the way the media says what it says, and all that, do you think it's just a smokescreen? Do you think the powerful elite are just allowing it to play out?
I think there's more to it.
They've seeded the division. They're allowing it to mature. And you're seeing the fruits of their labor.
Well, I think there's more to the mask movement than us having to wear them to be safe. Because what does everybody wearing a mask do? When you're out and about, if you go out and about, I know some of you are recluse and all, when you're out and about and you see people wearing masks, how hard is it to even remotely even start to sympathize or personalize with them? When you're talking to that girl... yes, so you are dehumanizing everybody from everybody. So even that girl that is checking you out at Walmart, you cannot have... And dude, they're scared to death to even talk to you. Because you're wearing a mask too, and you're dehumanized, and there's no personalization or being able to connect with a person outside of it because of this.
And how convenient is it that more and more and more stores are putting in more and more self-checkouts, because now it's for your safety. Now you don't have to interact with humans.
Right.
The more they can keep us from interacting, the more they can keep us muzzled, the easier we are. We are becoming so controlled. And if you don't want to be controlled, you're an asshole.
And Donna has a point that the masks, you can't even smile at somebody when you're out now. So, like, I'm one of those people that I hold the door for people when I go in someplace, or that I get the craziest looks. Because why are you doing that? Because they can't see if I'm smiling if I'm wearing a mask, because I'm required to wear a mask to go into the store.
And I don't know, I might get a little close to you. If you're holding the door, I don't know, is that 6 feet? Can we do this still?
Come on.
Yeah, I think it's all part. I think it's all at this point, and I'm not, I've become, like I said, more and more the tinfoil hat guy, because
it fits really well.
There's something to it. I mean, at this point, I think they are taking advantage of but is it any different? Is COVID? But look, is COVID any different than mass shootings?
But
where have those mass shootings gone, by the way? I'm just going to ask that question.
Paul.
Yeah, right?
Paul's on the rabbit hole we're diving through.
Nobody's at school, so.
Paul's on the rabbit hole we're diving through. to some people could be contradicting yourself, because at the beginning of this, you basically said COVID's worse than the flu. COVID's a real thing.
Oh, it is a
COVID
real
bad.
thing.
It is.
It's a real. It's still real.
But did he say anything
Now
about
you're
the masks
basically
actually work?
saying, fuck the fucking system, don't wear a fucking mask, and don't comply.
No. Look, you can catch COVID, okay? Whether it'll kill you or not, don't know. I'm guessing that it's about as likely. You can flip a coin. I'm guessing at this.
90. Well, you got a better chance of not fucking flipping a coin and flipping a fucking dollar bill, because the survival rate of COVID is statistically 99.9 something percent.
Hey, guess what? Before COVID happened, if I went into Walmart and I used the restroom in Walmart, I went out to my car and used hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
5 years before fucking COVID ever became a thing, because
So you understood personal hygiene. You understood.
People are disgusting.
You understood.
You want a perfect
field
example?
sanitation?
Oh, you want a perfect example? At my warehouse, I've had a thing of shit for 10 years probably there, because perfect example, the other day I'm in there taking a piss. Some dude comes out of the shitter with gloves on and a mask and doesn't wash his fucking hands. Just goes, opens the door, and walks right out after he took a shit.
No.
I'm like, you're fucking kidding me, right? And you're wearing a mask and gloves. You are an idiot.
That's just like the people
so
that are driving
Palmer-
down the road with a
Palmer made a
mask by
statement.
themselves.
Palmer made a statement. I want to throw jokes in there since we're so damn serious. Palmer, no, we're not living in 1984, the novel, because we don't have a thing called the Ministry of Truth. And
That's called Facebook.
Yeah,
Isn't
there
it?
is no truth.
And that's fact
There is
checkers
no
and
truth.
Facebook.
Yeah, could be. Hey,
Fact checkers and
so-
Facebook, man.
Hey, and you know what? When I was in the South, I'm going to tell you what they're doing in the South more and more. Half the places we went to in any major store, there were at least every other aisle, there was one of those stupid cameras with a voice dude on it. Wear your mask. Be safe. Be courteous to others. With a camera on it watching you every fucking inch of that place beyond the cameras on the store. That's pretty 1984 shit. Hey,
I won't disagree.
Take a
Okay. I take it back. I take it back.
Isn't that more they
We're
live?
living in 1984. Got it.
Isn't that more they live?
But I think he's gone. I think they've surpassed that novel. They've taken that as a blueprint and gone, oh, but we can do better. Hold my beer. And no, but it is. I mean, I think it's very, it is. It's insane. I mean, and at some point, I think good people, because there's people everywhere on both sides that look at all this and go, there's something wrong going on. There's something fundamentally wrong with our country. Period.
Well, somebody in the comments, I want to say it was the Drailed. He wrote down at one of our statements that there is only 3% the leftist something or other. That the left, there's only 3% of the leftist.
Probably.
Well, I've always, Mike Eamon can attest to this. I stood right in front of the Proud Boy and the Boogie Boy and said, hey, you know what? You're the same as those fuckers. You are the same as those fuckers. It's everybody else in the middle that we give a fuck about. That's the people you're talking about right now, is those people in the middle that they're not fucking extreme on either side. They're in the middle going, I don't know what to fucking do.
Right.
Now my question, we're going to take her all the way back to the beginning and we can talk about it next fucking week, but who's going to be the fucking lead?
Right. But I'll be willing to bet that if you go back, you take a shot, a time warp back in history, I'll bet you that the founding fathers and the people who started the Sons of Liberty, I bet you those were those people in the middle going, man, dude, I get what they're saying. I don't like what the far side over there is saying, or the far side. I just want what's right and what's good for all of us. It's not going to be perfect. It's not everybody's going to be happy. There's no utopia, but there should be a set of rules that everybody has to follow, including the government. And it should be run by us, the people who have to get up every morning and live our life in this country. And I'll bet you those people were the ones in the middle. And I bet those were our founding fathers, and they had enough at one point. And I think as us in that middle, who are the law-abiding, we get it, but we're done. It has to stop. It has to start and stop at the same time, and it has to. All
right. Well, we're two on the bar, and I'm going to ask this question: have you already picked out our Dragon's Tavern?
I've worked on it. I've got a couple of locations.
Are they even open? Make sure they're even open, because a lot of these places aren't even open anymore.
I'll find something.
Oh, if they're not open, I'll bet you there's a barn that has a bar, has a tap in it somewhere.
I'm sure we know someone,
I'll just say
right?
this. For all of you people watching, for all of you people that will watch in the future, you might want to try to figure out who we are. Find us on those socials, because I'll bet you the locations or the times, they ain't gonna just be stated, and there ain't gonna be a Facebook fucking event for it either.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, there is not going to be a Facebook event.
Ain't going to be a Facebook event. Ain't going to be an F4A social event. Ain't going to be a parlor event. Ain't going to be a MeWe event. It's going to be you find out what you want to do, and you actively look for it. You find the people.
If you go onto my, Michael Gosper, you go onto my Facebook page, and my current icon, you look for that flag. Mm-hmm. That flag is going to be your only clue as to where we're going and where we'll be.
Oh, boy. And on that note, thank you guys for watching and hanging with us. Everybody that is watching, thank you for watching the video after the fact.
Appreciate
when you
it,
do.
everyone.
If you do. You two, again, thank you for your time every Tuesday.
Absolutely.
And everybody be safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Do something.